Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ryan from Gear Hooker. I'm looking at the ILBE main pack. Okay, posted the stats up on the site there for all the material stuff. This is going to be an overview of the actual item. So, if you guys watch the intro video there on the on how everything kind of zips together, I went kind of fast through that. I'm going to post the manual, so don't worry if I wasn't too clear there on the thing. I'm gonna get the information out to you guys on how everything goes and what the different components are. So moving forward, there the main pack is basically just that. It is the larger pack. Okay, you're gonna want the lid with this. Don't just buy the main pack and think you're gonna roll. You do need the lid. Okay, the lid. We'll get into that in a second, but the lid basically seals off this main compartment. It doesn't seal off by itself. I mean, yeah, you can cinch it up, but there's a little bit less protection there, a lot less protection without the lid. So make sure you guys get the lid. All right, so main pouch, main bag. It's only one bag. There's no pouches on the outside. I've got some Molly 2 sustainment pouches on here. Basically just for food. Okay, so I'm carrying my food in these, maybe some toiletry items. I'm gonna have to think about water I carry, extra of these. This is just calories and a little bit of toiletries and stuff, brushing your teeth. The main bag has it goes all the way to the bottom. This is not compartmentalized. There are no sources of organization here other than, I'm going to try to open this up, get it in the light, other than this flap. You can roll that out, and there's little tabs in here. You hook those into, and that will separate. That will separate the top portion of this bag from the lower portion of this bag. So that's an option. I think it's a good option. You can keep your stuff that you're going to get a little bit more regularly. Maybe you need it first when you get to camp. You can get that. You can get that up on top, and then the bottom you can still access that through this double zipper. Let's turn this around. You can still access that through this double zipper, which I load one at the top on this side, one on the bottom on this side. So if I need to get in here, I can open up these suspension straps, or I'm sorry, the compression straps, and I can still get in to the bottom via this lower compartment. This isn't really all rocket science. If you guys have had backpacks before, you probably have seen stuff like this, but if you haven't, this is kind of the standard and how they're doing things. This is kind of internal frame 101 here, but it shares some of the difficulties with all the internal frame packs because of the inability to put stuff on the outside, or the inability to have different pockets to put stuff in. You have to add those. Okay, so there is some ways you can do that. Molly on each side. Okay, so I carry 2 food pouches. You could do one water, one food, or set up something back here. But I really haven't found a use for this yet. I just put the assault bag in like I showed in the video. What's kind of neat about this is I do have these strap management system here. You know, not all the straps have that, but most of them do, and you could duplicate it very easily in the areas that don't with tape. I've done that. There's another area here to lash, and I put my bedroll here. You know, it's a very, very convenient place to put it. I haven't found it, again, another reason to put more molly or more pouches in here. But you know, if I was to roll this bag alone, or I had some very small items that I wanted to tuck away that I didn't want to open my bag up to get into, then I would probably put them here. Now, for those of you familiar with with Alice, most bags, most military surplus bags that I've had, they had the ability to lash stuff to the bottom. This doesn't have that. Furthermore, I'm checking just to make sure I'm not wrong, but there is no drainage to this particular bag. There is in the assault bag. There's not in this bag. So, you know, this is gonna hold water, you know, a little bit more readily. Then it's gonna take a little bit longer to drain than the other ones are. But I'm happy with this bag. I don't want to steer you guys wrong. I just wanted to point out some of the immediate things that we're gonna have to be aware of when we use this system. You know, it's very, very much dependent on you, the user, compartmentalizing by adding stuff on. It offers a lot of comfort, a lot of storage space, but you're not going to get that, you know, everything has its place unless you make it that way. A couple other cool features on this before I switch it over to the suspension system. You do have these pockets. Okay, these originally, in my limited research that I was able to come up with here and talking with the guys on the forums, you're able to put some mortars or some tubular items that these guys commonly need to carry, and then lash those in. And there's good lashing straps for that. Get that out of the way. There is the ability to you know, slide stuff through, and again, put it in here. So if you had something that, you know, you wanted to clip on, I throw my hatchet behind there. And then, you know, so there is that. That's kind of a carryover from the Alice pack that I like. You know, I like having that fabric to hold stuff in. So if I haven't already, like I said, I got these Molly 2 pouches at a gun show. Cheap addition, awesome, because I can you know, I can put my food in there. And these are actually sustainment pouches. So, you know, kind of the word with these is a customization to the user, and so you got to set up how you want it. But just be aware that if you don't, it's going to be tube in. Love the suspension system on this. It's got the typical military quick release, which is kind of cool. I think if you get in a bind, you can pop those off. Actually, you pull that, and then, you know, voila, it'd come out. I'm only working with one hand right now, so I'm not going to demonstrate that. But when I get another cameraman, we'll definitely go through some of these, let's call them advanced features. Love these handles. You pick them up, pick a heavy ruck up, throw it somewhere where you want it, rather than trying to lug around one handle. This gives you a good wide, you know, base to do this. Hip belt's awesome. I'll do a separate video on how to remove the suspension system and adjust it, but the basic idea of it is that you would lift this up, you pull this down in here. This is all hook and loop, and there's 4 stays. There's 2 external stays here, and there's 2 aluminum stays that go inside. And based on your body shape and height, you know, there's a little bit of adjustment there, but, you know, basically it's kind of a one-size-fits-all thing. Like I said, guys, there's a bunch of buckles on this thing. I believe there's some components that I'm missing that I haven't seen, but you know, that's the main bag. You know, I really, the ILBE system as it relates to the outdoor enthusiast, the guy that's going to go, you know, doesn't need to carry a radio, this and that. You know, this is the 3-part system. You're going to want, you know, the pieces that I showed you in the beginning, and then the you know, some add-ons that you decide to do for yourself. One thing I will note, though, that if you're thinking, well, I'll just put my sleeping bag in there and then compartmentalize it, put my other stuff on top, I'm going to pull it out through the bottom. Okay, if you've got a small sleeping bag, that's probably going to work. Okay, if you roll with a large bag like the modular sleep system with all the 3 components, the bivy, the stuff sack, and the 2 sleeping bags, 4 components, that will not make it out of the bottom. It's too big. It won't make it out the bottom. And again, I was trying to get some information up for you guys on this, and you know, basically they said there's no easy way to stuff this thing, stuff that modular sleep system on this. It just simply won't work. You just have to put it inside and you have to take it out. So what I do is I put all my stuff kind of the opposite, because when I'm rolling with the MSS, that is my shelter system. I don't carry an extra tent or anything. I might carry a tarp or something on the outside, but you know, so I put all my extra clothes and everything I want to carry, however I have it set up, on the inside, on the bottom, and then I leave the compartmentalization alone. I just basically use it as one big tube, and I put the MSS on top, because to me that's the first thing that's going to come out. I'm going to get my sleeping bag ready when I stop, you know, and then I roll with the assault pack and the stuff on the outside for the stuff that I'm going to need right away. Alright, now the lid, like I said, it's integral. You're going to need it. You're going to want to get a bag that's got this, and it's basically, again, another big dump pouch. You know, big tube here, big capacity, comfortable weight, disbursement and management. You're going to sweat a little bit. It's not going to have that big gap, but you can fit a lot of stuff in here. You know, I put all my stuff that I need to get at regularly, a map, maybe some first aid kit if it's not in my assault bag. You know, this is kind of like really your external pouch, your one external pouch. I'm sure they don't use it for that. They might in the military, but you know, it kind of seems like, you know, you might put some sort of ordnance in there, but for me it works. You know, you put your stuff in there, and this is, you know, again, I think, you know, the whole Molly concept, you know, this can be set up for a lot of different missions. You could roll with just this bag, but you know, I don't. I think it's there's not enough different ways, you know, to access my stuff, and you know, kind of limited. I just don't like the whole one tube on your back thing and nothing else. So utilize it for what it is, guys. It's a good bag. Good padded straps on the other side. Great. It feels great. It's you know, doesn't tire me out. I can walk with it a lot longer than I can with the Alice. And you know, by the way, when you want to stow this, you can roll this up, and it basically folds into itself. There's a snap on this piece. You basically fold all these straps in. You can stow this away. Let's see if I can do it one hand here. So you can get rid of all this extra stuff, you know, if you're just trying to keep it out of your way. So that's a very dirty job. I didn't do a good job putting that together, but you know, I'm trying to do it one-handed here. So I other than the issue of not being able to really find a good place to put my modular sleep system, this is a great bag. And I hope you guys check out the rest of the reviews there on the site. Not only for the modulars, the ILBE system, we're going to cover all the components, the assembly, and the individual pieces parts, just as this bag. But we're also going to cover all this other milsurp stuff that we've bought over the years. Trying to hit on some of the stuff that isn't really readily apparent when you get it, and then you get it home and the honeymoon's over, and this stuff here is you got to think about. But I don't want to stop you from buying this, because I really like this bag. I like the whole setup. Just need to work on some things to get it where we need it to be. All right, until next time, signing out.